Going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law, again back at training camp here in Westfield, Indiana for the Indianapolis Colts. It's Wednesday, beautiful Sunday, or Wednesday morning, my bad. I'm here with Sam Sinclair. Sam, how's it going, man?
Good, how about you? Ready to watch camp?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I love watching camp, getting a lot of good information, see who's getting better, who's not. What are you looking for today?
Well, obviously, Jacob Easton, of course. We got to see what his progression's like going into his fourth or fifth day as a starting quarterback. It's looking more and more likely that he might be playing week one against Seattle when the time comes. I'm also looking at, obviously, left guard, offensive line, especially that left side. Sam Tevy just up and down, so, as well as Will Holden. And we're going to see who takes over for Quentin Nelson at left guard. And of course, Ryan Kelly's still out with the knee or the elbow injury. So, looking at the quarterback and looking at that left side of the offensive line, see how they play today.
All right, and some other interest notes. Checking out the cornerback situation. Obviously, the fight right now between Rocky Sin and Marvell Tell. I'd like to know if the receivers still look good, if they continue to progress. Same with the tight ends, because the tight ends and the running backs have been absolutely studly all offseason so far. Same with the defensive line. But I'm curious. I have yet to see personally with my own eyes, since pads came on, what that offensive line and defensive line looks like with pads. Because obviously, you know, with pads, the offensive linemen have a little bit more to grab a hold of and stuff. The rest of the thing, man, can't wait to see. We'll be back here in about, 3 hours probably? 3.5?
Yeah.
Of course, it won't be 3.5 for you because I'm going to end this and then we're going to start over.
The sun will be in a different place.
Yeah, the sun will be directly over us by then because they'll end around, 12:30, I think? Somewhere around in there.
We'll be
all right.
burnt toast.
Yeah, I've had plenty of sun since I've been here. We'll be back with you here shortly. And we are finished with training camp Wednesday morning. And I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law as usual. And of course, I got Sam Sinclair with me. We were discussing earlier about what we were looking for this practice. And honestly, from what I've seen today, the offensive line, even with 3 guys out, seemed to be not doing as well when it comes to run blocking, because it seemed like the defense was able to really kind of stuff that run pretty good today.
Yeah, and that's just the effect of not having your top 3 guys on the offensive line. But I thought they did really well in pass protection.
Yes.
Especially after the last few days, we've seen Tevy stay at left tackle, and of course they haven't had Kelly for most of camp. But I thought for the most part they've been really well. They did really well today in pass coverage. We didn't see Easton get sacked. No hitting the quarterback in camp, but I think the only sack we saw was on Huntley late in practice. But I thought the offensive line did a really good job today.
I think so too. I mean, outside the running backs, it's not like the running backs didn't do anything today. They did a great job catching the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah.
That's kind of dump off passes, as we have seen. They ran a lot of first, second, third down situational football. I think Easton did really good today. He had a couple nice little deep passes today, no interceptions. Nothing that would be considered an interception. One was a tip pass by a linebacker, jumped up, tipped the ball. It fell incomplete though. But overall, I thought Easton did okay. The only interception I remember was from number 6.
Yeah, Jalen Morgan had one at the end of camp as they were moving down the field for the 2-minute drill. But yeah, Easton, I thought this was by far his best day, and that's a great sign, especially after what he did yesterday. Started practice slow, ended practice real well yesterday, and then he was able to back end it with a good practice today. I had him a 9 of 12. I think that Zach Pascal pass that we saw over the middle of the field, I think that would have went for a touchdown probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, all around a great day. I think it was in 7-on-7 when we saw that pass to Hilton. That was a drop that probably would have been a completion just off of fingertips. So
right off
I think his placement has been really good. He got through his reach today, which was something I was really looking forward to seeing. But a really good day for Jacob Easton. Let's see if he can back that up and do that again on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of receivers that stood out today. Zach Pascal had an absolute fantastic day today. He had at least 3 really solid catches today. Burnt Kenny Moore early on for what
double move,
yeah, on a double move. I mean, he left Kenny Moore in the dust. It was amazing. Ty got himself a catch on Kenny, but the first matchup between Ty and Kenny won that one, so it was kind of a give and take on that one.
And that's best on best. That's gonna happen.
Yeah. Your boy Mike Strawn kind of had a roller coaster day today. He flashed some really big play potential today, but then he had a couple drops as well.
And that's what you're expecting from a 6th-round pick. That's what you really just want to see, if he can flash his elite traits that he showed in college. And we saw it in that one-on-one drill where he beat that corner one. I think it was Mike Hilton. He beat one-on-one deep down the sideline. It was just that go. That's why I told you. I said if he just runs the go route, he's really unstoppable. So he's showing his elite traits. You just got to be more consistent.
Yeah. Defensive line, I thought Grover Stewart did a good job today, especially stopping the run up the middle. It's kind of weird. Ben Banagoo flashed, but he flashed on, with the third string guys.
Yeah, he had the lone sack of the day.
Lone
So
sack
like
of
you
the
said,
day.
against his third team. I thought the second and third team overall was a lot better than the starters against the backup offensive line, but like we said, it's a different thing every day. So.
Something that caught me by surprise, I saw Isaac Rochelle lined up, at the one tech.
Yeah.
At the one tech. Who would have thought of that? And I thought it worked out well. It ended up, that was the play that Ben Banagoo ended up getting the sack on the opposite end. So
And there was a lot of mixing and matching, especially on the first team. You saw Kamoka Ture get some snaps. We've seen Antoine Woods, getting some snaps with the one. So a lot of mixing and matching along the defensive line today and for today's camp.
Yep. So, but any last thoughts about today's camp?
Really good day for the offense. I thought it was probably their best day overall, especially for Easton. They have an off day tomorrow, but I want to see what they do again Friday. Can Easton pair together back-to-back days of good play? And if he can do that, then that's going to give the Colts a lot of confidence going into week 1 if Carson Wentz doesn't play.
Yeah. Got a special guest I didn't expect to get today. Joel, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, no problem.
So, it's a Wednesday. It's been a week since day 1.
Yep.
No Easton, no 3/5 of an offensive line. What'd you think of the day?
I thought today was the best day the offenses looked so far in camp. Throwing out last Thursday when Carson Wentz was here and healthy, he looked really great that day. That was probably the best the offenses looked, the first team offenses looked. But as a whole, Easton was very good today. The offensive line was pretty good today. Sam Ellinger was good today. It's the best the offenses looked, and I think that's probably important in a camp where the offense has struggled sometimes. And Frank Reich even admitted that to us. Yesterday was a rough day. They've had other rough days. It's probably important for the offense to start not getting beaten so badly by the defense on a daily basis.
Yeah, especially, the offensive line being out, the run game didn't look as big as what it has previous, but the passing game, there was a little bit of pressure, right? But not a ton. I thought he dealt with it very well. I thought he got through his reads pretty good. And most importantly, no turnovers. He had that one tip pass, though, by that linebacker over the middle. Defensively, what did you see on the defense?
Well, one of the stories of this camp it's been kind of interesting, is that Ben Banagoo looks much better than he has in either of his first 2 camps. And I only wrote down 1 sack today. It's been several. Those are kind of tough because they can't actually have a sack. So I kind of have to make a judgment.
Well, he kind of ran chest to chest.
That one was Banagoo's had two. Banagoo's had 2 this camp where he came real close to violating the red jersey, and this was one of them. So this is an easy one to write down, but. He's been consistent. Consistent, and they're going to need that. I think we've seen good things from Kamoka Ture and Kwity Paye, but they're going to need that rotation. They were hoping for him to take a step forward. So I'm kind of hoping that we get to see him get some chances with the first line here going forward. I think one of the other things I saw from the defense today, I think Zaire Franklin, EJ Speed. Obviously, everybody knows Bobby Okariki's going to Mike. He's looked really good this camp. But EJ Speed and Zaire Franklin kind of doing it in different ways. Zaire against the run, EJ a little bit more against the pass so far in this camp. With Darius Leonard out, they've got a chance to kind of get some reps here. And I think both of them have shown up, and I think that's a good thing, given that they're not going to play nearly as many snaps with 3 linebackers as they did last year with Anthony Walker, but some of those snaps have to be taken over by somebody. I think it's a good sign from those 2 guys.
All right.
I want to shift the question real quick to players that are not participating right now. Obviously, Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson. We heard Quentin had a good good surgery last night. So, do you think it's more of the 5 to 6 week timeline, or more of the 10 to 12 week timeline for both of those guys?
Well, I think with Quentin, anybody who sees his Instagram knows that Quentin is assuming it's the 5 week timeline. I think my understanding of it from a medical perspective is that the thing they were worried about is that they went in and to take out the loose piece of bone, that there would be other damage, that the piece of bone would have damaged other parts of the foot, which would make that rehab longer. Neither of them had it, so if I'm understanding what they're saying correctly, they got really good news. Now, I don't know that how much it pulls the timeline down, but I think if there was more damage in there, I think there'd be a bigger deal. So I think probably it's a good sign for the early part, but when they give a range like 5 to 12, it's just so wide. And this is the first time I think I've ever dealt with this particular procedure in the NFL, so I don't have a lot of history with it.
Well, Frank has also talked about how much of an anomaly it is for both players. Carson, it was injured in high school, and then Quinn, I think he was pretty much born with it. So this is a pretty freak injury for both guys.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's definitely a freak injury, and something that they didn't know about. It sounds like Carson Wentz broke his foot. I'm sure whenever that happens, he can probably think back to a time in high school when his foot hurt or something, but he didn't think it was broken. Didn't know it had ever been broken. Quentin, obviously, there's no way for you to know you have a developmental anomaly until it happens.
Yeah.
I know there was some question about whether or not why wasn't this caught on pre-draft stuff, but they don't just do the whole body. That would be. I asked somebody about this yesterday just because I was curious. They don't do a whole entire X-ray. They just take an enormous amount of time. But if there's a prior thing, they look at that really heavily. So I'm sure they looked at Carson's knee, some of the other injuries he's had, but they wouldn't have done that. So it's hard to catch. And I'm also, this would be more a question for a doctor, but I also don't know if this stuff shows up until the bone is loose. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's hard to know. But so yeah, just kind of some. It's really weird that it happened back-to-back days. Just real strange.
Yeah, in two different ways, but the same injury. It's very, very odd. Well, thanks a lot. Appreciate you. Good meeting you again.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out Joel Erickson and Jim Aiello over on the Indy Star. And don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, and tag that notification bell. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen, Sam Sinclair, Joel Erickson. Have a good one.